Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Ansar Gilani, English commentator and entire sports instructor at Intercultures Studies, Social Sciences, English Literature and International Relations. Particularly, I am merging out as a trendsetter, how to bring the different segments of the society nearer to each other and to dilute their differences and distances based on any kind of conflicts and social segregations and whatever the difference of opinions and clashes of opinions that are facing conflicts in the society. Why conflicts and clash of opinions come into the society? Because people are living at the distances, though every house and home and residents are having their one particular thinking patterning. On that basis they are living together as blood relationing as well as they have human relationing. There is only one wall that is dividing the two of the families or the living around. But main thing is that all are humanitarian and all are human beings and they are living for a one cause or for another, for their survival, for their procreations, for their war on to live in life with set standards and moral standards and the desired choices and targeted goals of life. By one way or the other way, they are to live on the same orbit, being human beings as human race. But over here, I will write to walk on to the topic of what is interculture studies. Mostly you have noticed while at the introduction I am to talk that I am instructor to give guidelines as to how we can live independently with free thinking and freelancing of modern approaches, because more and more people are coming nearer to each other and the borders and the geographical distances are being broken and people are coming nearer to each other and they are sharing their minds, sharing their views, sharing their mindsets, sharing their whatever the biological, physical, and sociological, and ecological even, and economical as well as they are living with some particular minds and approaches that is carrying them as to how to live in peace or living in clash. But over here, the subject of social sciences and the subject of intercultures guides us how to merge out in the present scenario of the world, how the flood of population and flood of, you can say, information is coming on. And it is particularly not overtaking the human physics, rather it is largely overtaking the minds and overtaking the, you can say, mindsets even, overtaking the set morals of the society. Civilizations are under challenge, cultures are under challenge, religious groups are under challenge, and ethics is under challenge. Each and everything that is getting somewhat root in the section of society in a particular area of the country or the planet Earth, that is being redefined and defined and revisited and relocated and refurnished, and the things are toppling down and overcoming at the world of minds, at the world of thinking, at the world of, you can say, the particular approaches are coming into the globe. So when we talk about intercultures, mean, for example, two main countries are largely appreciated and known for that they are highly flexible in getting the transformation and transition and immigrations as well as transportation of the human public. Human population is coming to them, and they are at the highest standard of living, standard of thinking, standard of lifestyles, and standard of cultural mergers, and they could accommodate and they could help out the coming ones how to get acceptability, how to get adaptability, and how to get adjustability in their countries. These two countries are mainly, one is America, and in the same, you can say, page is Australia. Australia and America are two such calibers countries that where from the face of earth people come and get settled in Australia or in America. They are welcomed with open armed, and let them get merged with the highest standards of the society, because they are at such a height and such a visionary length and strength, and you can say at the standards that they do not fear of where from anyone is coming, and whatever the background is carrying on, and whatever the culture is carrying on, and whatever the religion is carrying on, and whatever the mindset or dogmas or the philosophies of their living standards are coming on, they are being brought over there and getting adjustment in their societies. Interculture means, for example, as America is considered a melting pot, that whatever it comes, it's already at the height, and being at the height, it is at the boiling stage, and whatever it comes, it gets in, melts in, and adjusts in, and start transformation of its personalities and character and mindsets. For example, the land of America, that is considered the land of opportunities, and if someone is coming from South Africa, is coming from Japan, coming from Australia, or South Korea, China, and Russia, or from Nepal, or from Maldives, from Sri Lanka, from Bangladesh, from England, from Scotland, from Holland, or from Finland, Thailand, Ireland. So across the board, worldwide, wherever from the people are coming, they are getting being settled in America, and they are getting being melt into their existence and their survives. The particular thing that America and Australia enjoy at the present, that they have the adjustabilities and they have the acceptabilities level. So they have leveled the life in such a way that whosoever from the downtrodden or the even sharpened one countries, with the scientific minds, even with the technological driven minds, even in the culturally or religious or whatever the business minds or whatever the minds they are carrying from their backgrounds, for example coming from Australia and coming from South Africa and coming from Japan and coming from the other advanced countries of the world, they when they step into Australia or step into America, the countries are at such standard, at such height, that they do not go underconfident that someone's theory or someone philosophy or someone dogma or someone religio or cultural or civilizational perspective would nerve the residents there or would nerve the already settlers there. They welcome there, they let them adjust it there only if they are at the demanding criteria of the country. I mean, the business approach is largely dominant in America, and the rest of all things are welcomed in such a way that if is someone going to settle with the area where Japanese are largely living, or you can say Irish are living in largely, or Chinese are living largely, but whatever they are at the home and what they have been in their backgrounds they are for their you can say themselves, and but whenever they are in the society, they are at the workplaces, or when they are at the business spots, when they are at the corporate points, when they are at the sports points, whenever they are at the wherever the people are to get mixed with each other, and they are to run the affairs of the life, and they are to interact the official services, business services, and the professional ways of life they are to follow on. They are nothing but they are something what they know, what they have the meritorial approach, and for that they are living, for that they are earning, for that they are going with the ways of the world. But their religion and their individuals, you can say civilizations, or the individuals' perspectives do not matter when they are at the workplace, when they are outside the homes, when they are outside the individual circles of the life. They are the brothers of the largest section of the human society, and they go together, they work together, they fight together, and they 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 have a shared mentality that we are the piece of that orbit of the you can say orbit that is carrying us for shared interests, shared objectives, and shared goals and shared visions. The visions are that we are to stay peaceful, and we are to stay for the helping hands for others. We are not only to run our affairs of life, we are not to run for our individual pursuit, rather we are to create such spaces for each other that everyone would enjoy its space and would go with its living standard, and earning standards, and professional ethics to be followed. So no one is going to, you can say, pursue others, or to press others to live within those, you can say, scales and limits that would not allow them to come forward and enjoy the fruits of the, and enjoy the opportunities that are leveled for and for all of the people. So when I talk about interculture studies, our instructor at instruct me to guidelines how to live in life. So when we say how to live in life, we are to search out those pieces of the earth, or the countries on earth, planet earth, where such kind of experimentations are already going on, that how we are to make the people clean minded, clear sighted, and clear visioned, and you can say target oriented. And target oriented means they are to be for themselves, for sake of their ways of life and ways of earning, but they are to be so practical minded, and functionalist kind of approaches must be followed, because they are to live within their orbit for ways of the world, and ways of the earning, and ways of the business affairs, and they are to be in a such a articulate way that they are to live in their ways, and where they are to create also the spaces for others to go in a hand to hand, and shoulder to shoulder, and mind to mind, and vision to vision, and shared objectives to be followed. So these two countries are to some extent ideal ones, though the rest of the countries like Great Britain, that was best example in the past, but in the present we would say Britons are filled with such people that are having no educated backgrounds. They are there just for sake of earning, but not the social strata is needed, or some you can say pressing kinds of some identities are coming, that society of Great Britain is going to be bracketed, and the mindsets are merging out as narrowing the society than the opening the visions of the country. So America, as it allows all the you can say people coming across the world how to melt into it, and how to adjust into it, and how to live for themselves and live for others, and go getter kind of approach to be followed. So uh, at the intercultures, you can say there could be somewhat kind of clashes or conflicts could be arisen, though ethnic, racial, and lingual, and cultural, and religious, and philosophical dispositions are also coming out there. But when the high standards of economic stability and ways of the world and ways of earnings are leveled for every entity or every citizen of the resident there in the most corporate and metropolitan kind of cities, where highly advanced people are living, and they are living for sake of their standards, they are living for sake of their moral standards, and living for the economic standards. And when a country is providing equal opportunities for all of the intellect driven people, it becomes a set standard for the rest of the world, because it is rightfully providing the opportunities on the equal footings and equal grounds and equal, you can say, mindsets, that they are to follow the ways of the states and of the country, and they are to stay peaceful after all. They are to work for the prosperity of the country, and the prosperity of the country not lies in the country, rather lies in themselves behaviors and in themselves approaches and themselves adjustabilities and themselves understandings and themselves how to go progressives in the pursuits of the and the achieving of the objective of the life. So mainly it depends how to cope up with the rest of the country's people. For example, Germans are there, Italians are there, Japanese are there, Koreans are there, Russians are there, Chinese are there. In the same way, Irish and Scottish and Finnish, all are there. Uh, they are all with their particular, you can say, religion and particular cultures and particular civilizations and particular, you can say, philosophies of the life. But whatever they were when they were in their countries, and but when they are at the, for example, experimental laboratory of the world like America, are present there, whatever they are at the family level, they are at the ritual level. Whenever the religious rituals or days fixed for them are to commemorate or to go for their celebrations, they could go for. But outside the homes and outside the worshipping areas, or outside their prescribed areas, whenever they are at the outer skirts of the life, at the official, at the business life, they are coming across to each other. They would have no conflict and they would have no clashing adjustabilities or clash of opinions. They are to go for the sake of human race. The top, you can say, the priority of the life is to live for others, for not to live for others, you can say, only you can respect the others religion and others, you can say, cultures, but you are to not live for others cultures and the others religions and the philosophies. They are their individual matters. They are to lead with their visions. They are to live with their philosophies and mindsets. But when they are within the groups, within the people, they are one group. They are the group of the people. They are the group of the human race. They are the part of the main cosmos, and they must be clean-minded. They must be clear-sighted. That for whatever we are in the family. We are in our countries. But when we are at the orbit of running the affairs of the life, at the most developed country like America, which is called to be not the land of, you can say, it's not America, it's the land of immigrants. It's not America, it's the melting pot where every country and every person that coming across the world reach there with its own mindsets are set aside, and it becomes the part of the larger group of the world, and they become such people that they are the citizen of the international community, citizen of the international orbit, citizen of the universe, that is, you can say, giving them a particular and ideal conditions there, living conditions there, and they could adjust rightfully, not having some aggression and oppression, somewhat a slave mentality. Rather, they are having mentality of an independent approach. They become freelancer, free thinker, and free thinker, freelancer doesn't mean become animal, or to become animal instinctive drives to be operative and go aggressive and try to eliminate and wash out the other's existence. No, the thing is that when you are at the highest order of life, at the highest orbit of life, at the highest, you can say, set standard of life, where everyone is peaceful, everyone is having no problem after all, facilitation of life is there, and the protection is there, and every kind of security is being given there, then why we should have internal grudges and internal, you can say, hate, or internal conflicts or prejudices. Wherever prejudices are, you can say, the minds, negative mindsets are operative, are running after to, you can say, making others adjustabilities and living a difficult one. Why should it be when everything is available and all the opportunities are equally given to how to flourish and rise in life? Then what is the meaning of clashing, and what is the meaning of having prejudice, and what's the meaning of having a grudge about others? What's the meaning of to make others living disturbing, interrupting, and appear to be, you can say, intruders? So every citizen is given right to live in independent way, because when mind is peaceful, then the services could be given to the countries, to the you can say associated and attached loyalties could only come whenever there would be target, you can say, orientation, or target, you can say, on the minds, on the particular religion and culture, that would not benefit the human race to live in standard life. So standard life is that where everyone should be given, you can say, equal opportunity to flourish and grow and rise in life, so that every entity and every piece of the particular, you can say, part of the world be the instrument to the well-being of all of others. So when we talk about interculture, mean where different cultures are coming across, but they are for themselves, they are not for others. Everyone is to go with its group and go with its mindset and go with its religion and with its cultures, but have no right to attack on others' religion and civilization and, you can say, mindsets. But it all should be based up in ideal conditions. Dialogue could be made, and things could be shared, and the more and more when where forums are given to discuss the differences and distances, people come out of their particular bracketed environment and merge at and reach at such point where their backgrounds, mentalities are not brought at the forums. They are at the forum what they have the meritorious approach, and meritorious approach is only that one approach. You are not to talk for yourself, you are to talk for others, you can say, prosperity, and for others peace, and for others advancement, and for others progress, in the same way as the way you like to your progress and your group's progress. You should come out of the self-centeredness and egoistical and ego-mongering kind of mentality. Rather, you are to go after right kind of thinking, a positive kind of thinking, and right-mindedness and positive kind of thinking and positivity could only come when you have a broadcast kind of approach, broadcast kind of vision, where you live for your vision, but you do not interrupt the vision and mindsets of others. Rather, you try to interact and try to ask about others, you can say, point of view. And but whenever it comes at the clashing, you are to win with the logic. Everything must stand at its logic, but forums should be there for every conflict and for every, you can say, clash. We should not knock the door of the courts. Courts are for other affairs of the life, to how to give justice. Uh, but if public forums are provided the people, so that from different segments of the society, from the different mindsets of the society, from the different, you can say, territorial and geographical and cultural clashes, they must come at the public forum. They should interact, they should talk on. And the only thing is that whatever we have grudge for others, it is only inside extra energies driven smoke. That is putting us into violent and oppressive kind of, or hostility kind of feelings, or thinking is developing there. But when when the forums are present, public forums are present, dialogues is given opportunity, uh, because whenever some conflict, if conflicts is arisen, rather to knock at the, you can say, court system, at the court, better to knock at the, you can say, counselors, and knock at the public forums. And dialogue should be made more and more, so that differences and distances must be broken down at the public level, and debates must be logical driven, because the more, you can say, individualism is coming in the present age, the more and more economic independence is coming on. People are becoming free from pressure of any kind, but it doesn't mean economic independence. The more is coming, individualism is coming, and more individualism coming mean we should go away from the people, should stay away from the main stream of life, or main, you can say, pipeline of the life, and should stay away from the people. And once again, after getting independence, at the economy of the appearing to be individually strong, mean to make the groups and make the friends on shared likes and dislikes. Rather, we are to go in an open and candid way to access any kind of person, every kind of person, beyond any religion and race and lingo and particular mindsets. Rather, we are to merge with every kind of person. We are to talk with every kind of person. We are not to make groups and people or friends like shared likes and dislikes. This blocks the vision. This blocks the, rather it made us the people of tunnel thinking. Mean people are running after blocked vision, and they are to run for and fight for their particular mentalities. And when their mentalities or groups are under challenge or under attack, for sake of their narrow approach, they stand for that we are right, and others should have no right to attack on us. But the thing is that everyone must have a broadcast approach, and must have such you can say, a broad vision, should access to every you can say, citizen of the world, every person of the world. There should be no bracketed kind of approach or bracketed kind of mentality, living within the circle and having no knowledge about other circles of life. We are to break ourselves, we are to break the borders of others, we are to break the mind's borders of others, and we are to share something that is best for us, for others, for the interest of the country, for the interest of the world, for above all the interest of the human race. Because the more scientific and technological advancements and progress is coming on, people are becoming independent minded, independent at the affairs of the life, and they are becoming, you can say, very, very, you can say, solid one and concrete one, and sound at the knowledge, but having sound at knowledge, we have to be with some liabilities and responsibilities to carry on, and that responsibility largely depends what we are and what we are to behave, and we should have no, you can say, a low mentality or low profile by our behavior. No one is of any class or middle or the lower or the upper. The best class is your behavior. You're responding to the people. If you will jerk the person, if you will hit the person, automatically things are entirely changed. But if you make initiative in a better way, in the same way response will come in a better way. If you will clash with things in practice in a hostile way, things will be done in a hostile way. It's better to have respect and mutual understanding, because we have to live for our mindsets and our philosophies and civilization, rather in a larger context. We have to live for others' well-being and welfare of others, and we have to create spaces and create chances and create opportunities for others. If we will try to create chances and opportunities for ourselves, for our particular mindset and for our particular groups, clashes will rise on. It's better to go with life as the sense of how to be better at the individual and how to be better at the collective. Individualism doesn't mean you are free from any psychological or financial pressure and now you do what you will to do. Rather, you have to come to the world with somewhat logical and somewhat suppositions and somewhat justifying and justification with somewhat progressive mind. So whosoever will have mind and somewhat activity that is helping the society, that is in the interest of the people or a larger group of the people, that is mostly welcome. So is all today's working. I am Ansar Gilani, English commentator and instructor at Intercultures, and largely I have tried to let you settle down what's the intercultures and how people could merge up and could live for others. Thank you very much.